Hey, what's happening everyone? I'm SirJames coming at you guys with another video, and today I am super excited because my custom lightsaber, or should I say my upgraded custom lightsaber, has finally returned to me. We have a couple boxes here which we're going to open up in just a moment. Before we get into this, I want to showcase some additional items with you guys, some things here that you may be excited for some upcoming videos. Now, first thing I want to showcase is that someone actually sent me the day one opening for the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Hollywood location. And here's the nice fancy map that came with. And this is the California location over here with the Hollywood one here. Pretty neat. So I did thank him for that. I just need the Florida location. Then I could put these into some kind of shadow box. The second item, Darth Sidious's robe, I have right here. And I will be doing a review on this heavy sucker for sure. And then last but not least, because this is something that I'm certain a lot of people who own a Saber's Workshop lightsaber is going to really want to get, a connector that will allow you to attach two Saber's Workshop sabers together. And best of all, it's fully functional. This thing is heavy to swing around, but we'll get to this one hopefully in the next few days. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and I guess we'll open up the large box first because this will be the blade itself. I have no idea where my smaller knife is, so I'm going to go ahead and use my larger one here. Even though this is not really a sharp knife, but you should be able to get the job done. Actually, that's not too bad. So hopefully you guys had a good time. Like I said, my last trip I was there on, it was Sunday. It was a little bit packed, but I'm happy to mention that a lot of the stock that we're having issues keeping in stock has been improved the last two trips. The only lightsaber that I didn't see was Mace Windu, but for the most part everything else was there, which was very nice. Alright, so here is my new blade. Go ahead and, I don't think there's a note here. There's probably a note in the other box. I mean, he sent me videos and he's been up to date because a lot of you guys were asking me who is doing my lightsaber upgrade, which I'll have all that information towards the end of this video and of course in the video description, because I asked if he offers the service to everyone or just a select few, and this looks like it's something that he'll be willing to offer to help you guys out, and I'll have his Facebook and all that down below. So here is my upgraded blade here. Basically one of the initial upgrades we got besides the internals is of course I now going to be rocking Neopixel. This is the original blade that I got, which is a little bit smaller. I think it was like a 32-inch blade, which was Saberforge's V4, which is like meant for dueling, so this could take a really good beating. And so I mean, yeah, there's that. But because of my initial upgrade, I won't be able to use that technically, because with this one, since this has Neopixel, for one, this is actually a lot lighter compared to that blade. I don't know in terms of the thickness. It's probably not as thick because this one is actually not meant for dueling, because there is LEDs that run in the inside of this part, which is going to give you an even coating lighting, versus the other one that I was previously using, which was LED, where the light will start off strong where the hilt section is, but then it'll start to get weaker towards the top, unless, depending on the length of the blade. Obviously, the shorter the blade, then the better the overall light performance. With the longer the blade, then you'll see that light bleed effect. I mean, not bleed effect, but you'll see the whole fading thing going on, especially depending on the color. And this one has these things on the bottom, which will allow it to connect with the new insert. So let's go ahead and carefully put this down over here and get to the main box. Super excited because when I was telling, or when you guys heard that I was going to be getting the Crystal Focus 10 install, a lot of you guys were saying that that is an excellent choice, which is good to hear. Because again, these custom lightsabers are completely new to me, so I'm learning as I go along. And who knows, maybe I'll get to the point where I'll learn how to solder and eventually put my own sabers together. I mean, that would be an interesting feat, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm a little bit of a slow learner anyways, but who knows, might be possible. So I'm opening this upside down because the address was on the other side. Alright, so Yay. I think he reused some of my original packaging, or maybe, I don't know. But just bubble wrap in here. Just go ahead and just throw this to the side here. Okay, so one of the things that he did is that he repackaged, when he took out the portions from the original build, he actually gave me those back. So if I do get like another empty hilts and I learn how to saw, actually this will be a good opportunity for me to learn how to do this. I just need to find an empty hilt that I like, which I believe Saberforge actually brought back a hilt that resembles the one from the new video game, the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If that's still available, maybe I could order that and use these for the installs and figure out how to do that. So this would be the original board, which I just want to kind of check that out. I don't know the name of the board. So this would be the original board that came in the Saberforge hilts. So I don't know exactly what Saberforge uses, but that is the chip that they had in there originally. And again, there's the memory card down below. Put that in the box. And then what else do we have? We have the blade plug. I mean, you guys already know what a blade plug is. And then this would be our battery here. So again, these are just the components that was previously in the hilts. So that's the battery. I really don't know how long the battery life is, because I know this, since this is a LED one, it'll last quite a bit. And this would be the original source for the lights, which actually has a little bit of weight to it, a little bit heavier than I thought. So yeah, I don't know whether or not these pieces are reusable. I'm assuming they are. I mean, if you guys know about custom lightsabers and how these go, let me know. If so, then I'll learn how to solder and maybe put one together. And that takes care of that. And then last but not least is my hilts. Now the hilts is still the same. Again, it's just the internal parts that are different. Like Christmas all over again. I mean, I've seen some of the videos he's shown me, but just being able to have hands-on with it. Ooh, looks pretty good. Alright, let's go ahead and just take a look. He did inform me, and I know this is not from his doing. He pointed out something. It was over here. He pointed out there was like a little nick. But I mean, it's a little bit hard to see. It's not really that noticeable, honestly, unless if you're looking for it. But he said that when my Saber arrived to his location, that the box was pretty beat up. Go figure for these shipping companies. So, we got... Oh, I mean, just in case if you've never seen the hilt that I have, I believe, I'm trying to remember, this is the Descendant hilt, which kind of remind me of Koda's lightsaber from the Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I mean, it's not an exact replica, but it's a hilt that I personally liked. This opens up, which means we could get access to, so there's the battery, and there's the chip in there with another connector. I think you could also connect this board to a computer. I'm going to have to kind of learn a little bit about the Crystal Focus 10. I mean, obviously, since this is still all fresh to me, I have to go through this whole learning process yet again. But I asked for some of the basics. Now, he informed me, if I can figure out where my phone is, I just want to kind of quickly go over this just to kind of make sure I don't screw this up. Alright, so I went ahead and found the information. It took a little bit longer than I thought because I started to get some notifications. So he told me, hey James, just wanted to remind you that when you receive your hilts, you take out the kill key. The kill key aux may pop out. I didn't glue it or anything because I didn't know if you wanted to make it permanent, because I didn't know if you were going to make changes, and if I want, I could just glue it into place. So I just wanted to make sure that that information was Alright, so after I got done filming the unboxing, I decided to go ahead and go off camera to mess around with the Saber for a little bit to kind of get a little bit of a better understanding. There's still a lot for me to learn with this, and of course for me to kind of look up to see how to add fonts or change fonts around and all that, but I'll do that on my own time. I'm not in a rush to do so, but I will say, after messing with this on camera, I am so much happier with this compared to how I originally got my Saberforge Saber. Again, with whatever Saberforge offers on their end as far as electronics, this hilt, along with the new Crystal Focus 10 and Neopixel, it's just, I love it. And at least I now have an idea what I love and what I'm going to be sticking with from now on. So what I want to go ahead and do is that we're going to be removing the kill switch. We are just going to go ahead and kind of cycle through some of the fonts here. We'll probably get a full, more detailed listen to maybe 2 or 3 of these, because I know there's a handful of them on here, and I think the video will just take way too long. And also we're going to do a little comparison between a Savi's Workshop Saber. I took the liberty at taking this apart from the hilts that were connected with each other, and I put a red crystal in here so you can kind of see the differences between this, because the blades are kind of identical, where you have an LED strip that runs all the way through this. So we're going to compare the red off of this from a Savi Saber compared to the red off a custom saber with the Neopixel. And I figured it'd just be a fun little video, which again, I have no issues with the Savi Sabers. I love the Savi Sabers, especially now with that connector where you could basically make a double-bladed saber. Love it. But, you know, eventually I'll do a double-bladed saber for a custom one. I'm just not in a rush to do so because holiday season's coming up pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and just kind of get through this, and it should be dark enough where I could go outside and do some other fun things. So we're going to go ahead and now remove the kill switch.
This party's over.
Alright, actually this party's just getting started. Actually, I'm kind of curious. I don't know if the fonts that I originally purchased, if they would work on this, or if I have to get completely new updated fonts for this particular board, because I know not all the fonts work with certain boards. I'll just have to, again, learn all this off camera as time goes on. Pretty sure there's plenty of tutorials, because I know a lot of people were talking about the Crystal Focus 10, and I could see why. I love this. So let's go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and cycle through the fonts, and then I'll insert the blade and kind of go from there and see where the video takes us. So let's go ahead and turn it on. So the first one, now not all the fonts on here have the smooth swing, because not every single font that is offered on Saberfont.com, there's like a handful of them that have smooth swing, and then there's just a nice large array of fonts that you can add on here depending on what you like. And from what I've learned from Crystal Focus 10 is that there's not really a limit to how many fonts you could have. The only limit is, well, basically what size is your memory card, which is pretty neat. I don't think the fonts are quite that large, to be quite honest. So this one here has smooth swing. Now if we turn this off and bring a Savi Saber over here, this one has to have a blade in it in order for the sound to work. Now if we shake this one around, now we take this one. So yeah, big difference for sure. Okay, so in order for this one to change between the fonts, you have to press down on the second switch here, and you got to hold it down by pressing hard.
Sound bank selection.
So the one set to is on Saberforge, and then what we're just going to go ahead and do is that you could cycle through the next selection or previous selection by pressing these buttons here. So we're just going to kind of cycle through so you have an idea what's on here. If there's one that's interesting or two, we'll take a actually we'll wait till the blade's inserted to take more of a listen to. But let's just go ahead and kind of run through the list here. Force Unleashed 2 Camino. That's actually it's an interesting one we're going to listen to here soon. because, you know, Camino, it's always raining, there's always storms going on, and you have the same sound effects on here.
The Old Republic Crucible. The Old Republic Malign.
Showtime.
Youngling.
Actually, I forgot to keep count of how many is on here.
I will finish what we started.
And I don't know why, when I hear that voice, I keep thinking of StarCraft. You know, for the Protoss race.
I will finish what we started.
See that voice? It just reminds me of Protoss from StarCraft.
Audio player.
That one's an audio, so if you have music, you can enable it on here and still have the blade ignited, which is pretty neat. I don't know if the music is copyrighted or copyright free. I just don't want to risk playing it, otherwise I'm going to get it. Well, it's not going to be a strike, I just won't earn any ad revenue.
Nightfall.
Crystal focus.
Nebula.
Granny.
Hoth. Revolt. Saberforge.
So now we're back to Saberforge. Let's go ahead and
This party's over.
select that. And basically, to select after you hit it, you just hold down the top one here. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and insert the blade, which the blade plug still fits perfectly fine, by the way. I just had to loosen that screw a little bit more to put the blade plug in there. Now we can go ahead and take our improved blade. If you guys are kind of curious, will my original blade that I got with the Saber fit in here? The answer is yes, except it won't do anything because, again, it's not a Neopixel blade. Okay, so that should be good to go. So let's go ahead and turn this on and make sure everything is connected properly. Actually, it'll be best if I reduce these lights here. And I'll film some stuff on the outside too. You guys can also see the effect, as like I just cut my hand off, the blade going in, and then blade coming out. Once again, back in. Very nicely done. I guess in comparison, actually what's nice about that one is that this one kind of went with the tone. So once the audio was finished, the blade was also finished, comparing it to now the audio's done. So some slight difference. I mean, there might be some settings you could tweak with. Again, I'll have to kind of learn all this as I go, but I just don't want to mess up any important settings on here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is ignite this once again. And we are going to go ahead and change the colors of the blade here. And the way this one works, actually how it originally was done with my original Saberforge Saber, in order for me to change the blade color, I was able to tilt it with the flick of a wrist and it would rotate for like 6 different colors. This one, kind of the same way, where you press the bottom button here and then you flick it and it'll go into a cycling format. Spectrum. And then here, I could just rotate this. I was going to have it up here so you kind of see the colors, because my camera might pick it up a bit differently. But you just like kind of, you know, like a motorcycle, you know, just rev the engine. So let's go ahead and pick, well, we need red. Oh. Alright, so now we are on red here. And let's go ahead and bring over Savi's Workshop. So here is Savi's Workshop lightsaber. And then here is Neopixel, or, you know, on a more higher end saber. Can you guys see the difference there? You should easily be seeing, I'm seeing that nice difference on the lens finder. You can see this one's a little bit more of a subtle red, while this one here, I mean, there's a lot of brightness going on, and yes, this thing is nice and bright. So that should give you a nice definitive answer right there. Again, I'm not going to go through all the different crystals because that's just going to take way too long of a video. And let's go ahead and kind of showcase a couple of the fonts here. And then, like I said, I should have something in between showing you guys some night shots. So we're going to go ahead and
Sound bank selection.
go to Sound Bank. Alright, so this is the Force Unleashed 2 Camino.
Does the weather ever get better here?
So here, the Rainstorm of Camino. Again, not every single font on here has smooth swing. Just a hand selection of fonts on here have that. And the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is
Sound bank selection.
Saberforge. Revolt. On.
Gray
Nebula.
Crystal focus.
so this one's Crystal Focus. I think this one's by default if you get this particular chip. Or maybe not, I don't know. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do is... Actually, if I change the... Trying to see what would work best for this. Okay, I don't know if it's going to pop up on camera or not. But for like the blaster effects, I noticed that the LEDs, depending on the color, I mean, will be a slightly different color, but the effect will pop out quite differently on certain sections of the blade. So it's like, you know, in the movies where the Jedi deflect the, you know, the blasters and stuff like that, it's not always in the same spot. You know, they could have deflected it down here, up here, towards the center. And that's what this one did. Like, for example, that one went from here, 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 and here, which is cool. I like that a lot. Let's see, what was another thing? Go ahead and...
Sound bank selection. Crystal focus.
Night.
Audio player.
I will finish. I will finish what we started.
Yeah, I think this one has smooth swing as well, so let's go ahead and enable this one.
You are all fools! I won't be denied!
That's freaking dope. So I just pressed the startup button and the audio played, and as soon as he was done talking, boom, ignited. Okay, I didn't do it that time. Maybe it's different.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain.
So there's different audios and clips that play for certain ones. Like I said, I'm going to have to kind of look up and see what each one does.
It has to be this way.
See? So I think this one just has multiple different fonts on there. But this is really cool. I like this a lot.
There's no one left to stop me.
This is cool. I'm geeking out over this a lot. Let me go ahead and turn my lights back on here. And what I want to go ahead and quickly discuss with you guys really quick is the person who did my install. His name is Mark. He has a Facebook page set up called Kyber Installs. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video below. And I just want to kind of give you guys my quick thoughts on this particular person. He is someone that I reached to on Discord. I didn't know him personally at all. I just saw that he was doing commissions for other people, and I reached out and asked if he would be able to help me out on my particular saber. So he reached out, gave me an idea of what we can do, gave me a set price, you know, paid and everything, got it shipped out to him, and his communication has been very good. You know, he'll keep up to date through mobile phone once you set up everything and have everything good to go. You know, if he had to order parts, he'll let you know that he ordered the parts or the parts that just came in. He'll keep you up to date as far as where he is on your hilt. He'll give you an estimated time. For me, he gave me an estimated time of a month, but it only took probably like a week, couple weeks, or not even that long actually, because, you know, he didn't have any other commissions at the time. But like I said, his service was very good. He is someone that I could easily highly recommend. He is someone that I sent my saber out to without knowing who the heck he is. Just, you know, he was a member of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Discord page. It's a fan page, by the way. And like I said, his service was very good. So Mark, if you are watching this video, I do want to say thank you so much. I just can't get over the fact that what started with me getting a custom lightsaber and shortly disappointed with the electronics to now having the electronics updated and to being much happier person. So again, I think this is great. Crystal Focus 10 I think is a fantastic soundboard. There's still a lot for me to learn about this, but based on your guys' feedback of me going with this particular option, I made the right choice. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. In about a day or two, I'll be doing my review on the Darth Sidious robe, and then of course we'll be checking out these custom scrap metal pieces for the Savi's Workshop lightsabers that were made from a completely different company, especially that connector where you could have a double-bladed saber, and essentially kind of go from there. And I also want to let you guys know that in 2020, I'm going to be doing a couple big reviews, which is going to be that Stormtrooper outfit from Galaxy's Edge, which is made by Avos, and then of course the life-size R2, because Xander, which I've mentioned a few times before, he doesn't live too far. Like I said, his family's super cool. They're all into the same thing that I'm into, which is great because honestly here, like now, I don't have anyone to hang with. So to be able to hang out with Xander and his family is just kind of a nice change, because now I get to hang with people who share the same interests, who love going to conventions, who love dressing up, and they're the ones that are getting the outfits and the life-size R2 and are inviting me over whenever it comes in to do every video on it and to showcase. And the reason why I say 2020 is because that's how long it takes to get this thing, because they have to order it, it has to be custom made and then shipped out to them. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I love this a whole lot more. But until then, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Until then, I'll see you guys soon.